Hello everyone, wouldn't it be amazing having a system that can replace half of your financial department? You know what? It exists. And even better, you can build it yourself. Let's start building.
So this automation exists of three parts. These three parts you have to have active in make.com, so they are running 24 hours a day, so they can be accessed 24 hours a day. The first part is in fact the heart of the whole system, and it is the invoicing system that is responsible for sending out invoices. The second part is the tracking of the invoices, and the third part is follow-up of unpaid invoices. So let's have a look at the first part. I make it a bit bigger so you can see what is happening. The first part in our workflow is when the invoice is for a one-time thing or for a recurrent event. So for a one-time invoice or a recurring invoice, let's go a bit deeper into the one-time invoice. The second choice is the product, does it exist in our database or does it exist in the Stripe database? The third decision that has to be taken is, does the customer exist in our database or does the customer exist in the Stripe database? So the upper part is the customer exists in the Stripe database. The second part is, or the second choice is, the customer exists in our database. So it has to be made, or she has to be made in the Stripe database. Now, how to align it. So the first part is creating an invoice item. The second part is create the invoice from the invoice item, then create or finalize the draft invoice, and then the next Stripe step is to send an email with the invoice and a payment link. And then we're gonna update all the data we received from Stripe in a Google Sheet. So all the Stripe modules below are, let's say, a copy of the one above, except the first one is let's create a Stripe customer or not. Here there are some other input data, but we receive all it from our webhook. And for recurrent invoices, it's almost a bit the same, but I go in more detail in another video, which you can find on my channel. So the invoicing, we start the automation with a Google Sheet. So here we have the name of the user. It's a one-time invoice. We have the Stripe customer ID and also the price ID of the product that we're gonna send an invoice for. So now let's run this once and see what happens. Generate invoice. The script is running. And now we see the invoice status is pending, and the invoice ID we also received from Stripe. So if you have a look at our automation here in the last step, it updates the Google Sheet with the invoice details and the status pending. Now we can try a recurrent payment or a recurrent invoice. So we're gonna follow this step, this route, so where the Stripe user doesn't exist, and set up a recurrent invoice. So we go back to our Google Sheet. Here we make it a monthly payment or monthly invoice. Let's say we're gonna charge 250,000. The Stripe customer doesn't exist, as we said. Price ID is not needed because we have to set it up ourselves. Okay, this can all be empty. Now let's run this once and click on generate invoice. And now you see the Stripe customer has been created, the invoice ID has been created, and the invoice status is pending. And now we can go to the tracking part. So this is also a Stripe module which continuously checks if payment has been made or payment has been successful. As soon as it receives that, it updates our Google Sheet and it will put our payment status to paid. Oh, I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna make it paid. It looks better. Click on OK. I'm gonna save it. We also have received 2 emails from it. So this was the first one for the single item invoice, and this one is the one for the recurrent invoice. Now open this one. This is for the recurrent one, and now we're gonna pay this one. And before paying this one, we have to start our tracking module. So fuck it. Verdomme. And go down and let's pay. Invoice has been paid, and now check our Google Sheet. Okay, I've updated the wrong column. Paid should have been here, but here you see the invoice has been paid. I'm sorry for this, but yeah, the invoice has been paid. And now let's go to the third part, and that is the follow-up part of the unpaid invoices. This is this little script. It takes all our data from a Google Sheet. Then these 2 tools, they calculate the difference in day between when the invoice was sent and the day of today. Then it takes from the same Google Sheet the message that we will send after 1 week, after 2 weeks, after 3 weeks, after 4 weeks, and then it puts it all together and it sends an email to the user. The sheet we are going to use for this is this one. So here you see, today is November the 4th. So last week was October the 28th. The invoice ID is this, which can be tracked by the previous scenario. So if we see that this invoice has been paid, it goes to status yes, and this will be checked here. No. Filter paid. No. So now let's run this and see what happens. One mail has been sent. Now let's go back to our inbox. And here is the mail that has been sent. Hey, Peter, already 1 week ago since we sent you the invoice and we still haven't received anything. Can you pay? So this is in short how this automation works, and I think it can replace, let's say, half or 3/4 of your financial department. If you like more videos than this, please give it a like or a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions about this video or other related topics about automation or AI, just let it know in the comments. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.